Chapter 3, our company values. Values are abstract beliefs and norms such as respect, honesty, kindness, dress code, which people and communities find important and which guides the way they live. Okay, so we all know what values are, Okay, values. Every community, they have their own values. For example, like here, when you meet people, you greet them. Okay, you are not supposed to wear certain types of dress and go out of and go from the public. And like when you go to the toilet, you use your left hand to wipe. And you are supposed to respect people. You are supposed to be honest. Okay, you are supposed to be pious, and all these things. Okay, so these are values. Every community, they have their values, the way they dress. Okay, of course there is a distinction between values, norms, and philosophy, but here we talk about values to combine them all. Okay, so the core values, in addition to our community values, okay, at Jollof Events we have 9 core values. We have 9 core values at Jollof Events. Okay, and these core values are excellence, cleanliness, organization, simplicity, media centrism, openness, ownership, and number centrism. To help us remember these values, we abbreviated them as TECOS-MOON. Okay, the T is for training, the E is for excellence, the C is for cleanliness, the O is for organization, the S is for simplicity, the M is for media centrism, the O is for openness, the another O is for ownership, and last the N is for number centrism. Okay, this abbreviation TECOS-MOON rhymes with take us to the moon. Okay, we believe that our core values will propel us to greater heights of success. Okay, greater heights of success. It's going to take us to the moon, man. Furthermore, these core values are our number 9. Okay, our striker. They help us to score our goal. Remember, we want to be a leading event planning company in the world and the leading event planning company in Africa. So these values, trust me, will help us to score our goals. It is our number 9. Okay, it's our number 9, and there are 9 core values. Those of you who watch football, you know what number 9 do. They score goals. They are the strikers. So we have our goals. There are 9 of them, and these are just analogies to help us remember our values. Take us moon. Take us to the moon. Okay. So okay, and each core value also has a tagline to help us remember it more. On training, we have continuous improvement. On excellence, do your best. On cleanliness, stop littering. On organization, everything in its place. On simplicity, the simpler the better. On media centrism, turn on the camera. On openness, nothing to hide. On ownership, we are Jollof Events. On number centrism, if I count it, I can count on it. So these are our values. Okay, everybody at Jollof Events must uphold these values. Remember, if you don't uphold these values, that means that you do not respect our culture. And if you don't respect our culture, that means that you do not deserve to work here. Okay, everyone in the company, okay, must religiously uphold these values. Trust me, you cannot break any of these values. You have to be always improving yourself. You have to do your best. You have to be clean. You don't litter stuff. You have to be organized, putting everything in its place. You have to be simple, doing things very simply. Okay, you have to be a media focused person. Okay, focus on the media. Always turn the camera on, film stuff that you are doing, and you have to be an open person. You have nothing to hide. Okay, because if your hands are clean, you have nothing to hide. Okay, ownership. You are part of Jollof Events. You don't bring yourself out of Jollof Events. You are in us. You are with us. If you are working here, you are part of us. Okay, all right. And number centrism, man, count it, man. Pop, numbers. We are in the numbers game. In the event planning business, numbers matters. Okay, so our core values explain. So here we explain our core values. Each one of our values is explained into further details so that you can know about them. Okay, the term training in this context means knowledge, education, practice, learning, research, capacity building, and so on. So the training, the number 1 on our core values training, basically talks about knowledge. Anything that you do to expand your capacity is called knowledge, whether it is through research, whether it's through reading books or taking of stuff and practicing. Every department, they have their own mode of training. or even picking up this book and reading it is a part of training. Reading the Jollof way, okay, like everything is training, okay. In a fast-moving world where everything is constantly changing, especially in the events industry, it is very important to develop the culture of continuous learning and innovation. Okay, training enhances our knowledge and creativity. Practice makes perfect. As the saying goes, the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in fighting. Okay, and we must embrace the habit of learning both on the job and off the job. Okay, both in and out of the workplace. Everyone at Jollof event should be informed about. Okay, here let me make it straight. Okay, you should be informed our company. You must know all the in and outs of the company. In and out, you must know the company inside out. Okay, its people, its management, okay, its products. Okay, you must know our products. Okay, all the products we sell, all our facilities, everything. You have to know the company. Okay, you have to know your job. For example, if you are the marketing manager, you have to know about marketing. Okay, yeah, you need to know what lead generation is. You need to be the but the company like is counting on you to be the experts on that area. Okay, whatever you do, even if you are a cleaner, you should know about all the cleaning tactics, everything. Okay, know your job, know the company, know the event industry. Like who what is where is our ecosystem, who are our competitors, what is the event industry like. You must know. Okay, how do you know? By learning. Okay, you should set aside time to learn. Okay, and normally when you are not doing anything, when like probably there is downtime, okay, learn, practice. Okay, practice. Like the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in fighting. Okay, because the more you know, the more you can do. Okay, so at Jollof events we believe in learning and teaching others. Okay, in paraphrasing what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, the best among you is he who learns and teaches, who learns something and teaches it to others. So basically, Prophet, peace be upon him, he said that the best among us is he who learns and teaches it to others. He was referring to Quran, but this can be taken to be anything else. Okay, learn and teach others. At Jollof events, you must always be learning and sharing what you have learned to your neighbor, okay, to somebody else. And not only that, you should be sharing it to the public. Okay, if you are the sales manager, okay, learn about the best techniques in sales, teach it to your co-workers, teach it to the public. You can create videos on how to like generate leads and all this kind of stuff. So it's very important to teach, because for example, if you are working at Jollof events, for example, if we give you a laptop, this laptop, for example, okay, when you are leaving Jollof events, you leave the laptop here. Okay, but what you learn, you are going to take it wherever you go. All right, so when you learn something and you are the only one who knows it and you leave the company, that means that the company does not benefit. So at every time we expect you to be teaching somebody whatever you know, you should let somebody else know. Because in the Jollof way, in the booklet, there's an analogy there in our philosophy called, you never know when you are going to get hit by the boss. That means that you never know when you are going to leave the not only leave the company, sometimes we are on leaves, holidays, and sometimes we are not around. Who else is supposed to do what you are supposed to do when you are not around, whether temporarily or permanently? So it's very important. Okay, at Jollof events, if you cannot grow, you can go. This is a place for the advancing man and woman. You must always be improving yourself, whether your knowledge, whether your skills. Every time you need to grow at Jollof events. The way you are this year should not be the same way you are last year. You see, for me, for example, if you look at me, like I'm always learning new techniques everywhere, management, sales, like design, everything. So I believe that everybody in the company should follow my step in learning. Okay, the more you learn, the more you can do. As Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. Okay, the symbol for this, we have symbols for all our values. So the symbol for this value is a book. Wherever you see that symbol, know that, hey, it's training. All right, so we move on to value number 2, excellence. Do your best. We are very much determined to reach the highest standard in everything we do, from product design to logistics and to customer service. We aim to exceed both internal and external expectations, and we strive for excellence in every aspect of the company. All right, excellence. Okay, so why it is important to know. Some people, they know everything. Okay, you know how to do everything, but it's not all the time that you do your best. Sometimes you are tired, sometimes you are having problems from home. Okay, sometimes you know you are hungry. Okay, but nothing should stop you from giving your best at every given time. Okay, because excellence is about doing your best. It's not only about what you know, but doing your best at every given situation, knowing that I have given it my all. Okay, while it is important to be the best, it is equally important to do your best in any given situation. Whatever you do, whether it is beneath you or above you, easy or hard, make sure you give it your best shot. It should not matter, okay, what your mood is, regardless if you are happy or sad, well or ill, full or hungry. Always do your best. The rest will take care of itself. Okay? You know what? At your events, sometimes, for example, if I tell you to paint this wall for me, okay, I sound you, maybe you are not doing anything, you are free. I tell you, paint this wall for me. The paint is here, everything. And I tell you, paint. You will not paint it and do like little just because of you are not a painter, or there is nothing like painting in your job description. But hey, at Jollof events, we support team members when the need arises. Okay, so if somebody gives me to paint, I will try my best. It might not be the best painting, but at least I've given it my best shot. Okay, when you are helping a co-worker, when you are like, sometimes they are away out, like if the salesperson is out and you're handling the sales call, you're not gonna be like, you are going to give it your best shot. Okay, so it's very important. Even when you are helping out co-workers, help them to the best you can. Okay, at Jollof events here, we do not accept mediocrity. Okay, no mediocrity. No mediocrity is allowed here. Remember, mediocre is like mediocre work, anyhow work. Like, okay, best in sales, best in design, best in logistics, best in driving. We want to be, because if we are not best, if we are not doing excellent job, how can we advance as a company? Okay, if everybody is doing mediocre job. All right, so you have to try your best always. Okay, we need only quality people and quality products. Okay, everyone has to be excellent, so do your best. Again, a word of caution here. Okay, perfectionism. You know, sometimes you try to be excellent too much that you become a perfectionist. This is my problem. This is one of my weaknesses. You know, perfectionism. Okay, I want to always make things so perfect that I waste a lot of time. Okay, sometimes it's good. Good is enough. Sometimes not. They say good is the enemy of great, but sometimes it is enough. Do the best thing, like enough thing, and then and then move on. But spending the whole time trying to design something, trying to do stuff, okay, that's a waste of time. So that's a word of caution. But apart from that, always do your best. Okay. The symbol for this value is a star. Okay, it's a star. You have to be a star, man. At Jollof events, everybody has to be a star, superstar, rock star. All right. So we move on to value number 3, which is what? Cleanliness. So stop littering. Okay. This value is rooted in our desire for clean and beautiful environments. We believe that environment deserves to be clean at all times. Hence, we highly discourage littering, whether at our premises, neighborhoods, streets, or at the field. Everyone at Jollof events must be conscious about this principle and develop a good attitude towards waste management. Okay, what basically this is telling us is that we should always keep our environments clean. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it's at Jollof events or when we go to set up at the field. At the field means where we go to work, whether at people's home or halls or venues, wherever we are, we maintain constantly cleanliness. Remember, at Jollof events, you have to follow our values. If you litter outside when you are not at work, you can use your own values there. Okay, you can have your own personal values, but when you come to Jollof events or when you are working for Jollof events at anywhere, you should put your personal values just aside. I'm not saying you should put your values aside, like, let me withdraw that statement, but okay, the values of Jollof events trump all your values. Okay, if you don't care, you just buy minty fresh and then throw away the packaging anywhere. If that's your value, then when you come to Jollof events, you have to respect our value. If you eat minty fresh, if you don't have where to put the plastic, okay, put it in your pocket. Okay, at least you are not dirtying the environment, the neighborhood, the roads, the streets. Okay, it is our responsibility to keep our environment clean. Okay, and as a business, Jollof events, our corporate social responsibility will be geared towards environmental cleanliness. Okay, we'll provide support to our communities in the fight against littering and keeping the environment clean. All right, so like we will be joining cleanup and we cleanup exercises. We will be sponsoring cleanup events. So if you have an initiative geared towards environmental cleanliness, bring it to us. We might find a way to help you. All right, so cleanliness is very important. We move on to organization, which is value number 4. Everything is in its place. This is similar to cleanliness. Okay, as an event planning company, it is essential we keep everything organized. This includes how we arrange our equipment and our computer applications. Being organized is one of the most important factors of productivity. Remember, productivity is doing something effectively, right? Organization is very key. Everything in its place. Okay, at Jollof events, you cannot drop anything anyhow, anywhere. No. Every time, everything you do, put it at its right place. Whether you are putting flowers, whether tables, because when you organize things, everybody in the team will be able to know where everything is. Okay, like you cannot, in human beings, we spend most of our time searching for things, searching for keys, searching for everything, and that is not right. Okay, because when everything in its place, everybody can easily find it, especially new employees or new people who come to the company. When they come, they will not find everything scattered everywhere. They will know that everything is labeled, the name and everything. When they move around, they are going to see, hey, this is where the pins are, this is where X is, this is where Y is. And also, not forgetting as well, you have to, for example, when you find something lying somewhere, ask, does this thing belong here? If not, put it in its right place, or tell somebody to put it at its right place. Okay, so it's always important that we are organized. Even our computer applications, our folders are arranged in such that when somebody comes for the first time, they will see, yeah, everything is arranged nicely and they can navigate easily. Okay, so organization is very important for teamwork. This is what I was saying. Okay, the symbol for this value is a stack of boxes. Remember, boxes arranged together, everything organized. You have to be a very organized person. No clutter is around here. Okay, all right, so value number 5, simplicity. The simpler the better. We strive for simplicity in all things: our products, our marketing, our processes, and our premises. Okay, simplicity is the core of beauty, as Paulo Coelho says in his book The Alchemy. Okay, it makes life easier. People have bias nowadays towards simplicity and are inclined to choose experiences that are less complicated. The simplest solution is the easiest to implement, train, and support. Okay, at Jollof events, we believe in simplicity. We make simple things. Okay, nowadays, most of the people who call at Jollof events, they say, I just want simple decor. Simple laboga, meaning I just want something simple. Now there is bias towards simplicity. Everybody wants simplicity. Okay, and the advantage of simplicity is that you can easily do it. You can easily train somebody to do it. You can easily support other people while they are doing their stuff. Okay, so simplicity, if we make things complicated, it will be hard to train people. Okay, like at Jollof events, we believe that everything we do, like especially when it comes to logistics, okay, design and stuff, everything we do, the laborers at Westfield, subcontractors, like they should be able to do it. We do not require like experts to do. No, so simple, everything simple. Okay, we make our products minimal, beautiful, and easy to use. We make our services customer friendly, and we make our processes employee friendly. The simpler, the better. At Jollof events, we use the KISS principle. Okay, what does KISS principle? Doesn't mean like it can mean that, but and the KISS principle is an acronym for keep it simple, stupid. So every time you find yourself doing something, remember this word: keep it simple, stupid. Say that to yourself so that you will make things simpler. Okay. People, including customers and colleagues, barely read instruction. When you make a lot of instruction, or pay attention, they barely read instruction or pay attention when things get too long, drawn out, or complex. Okay. Another word of caution here. Okay. That is, however, the need for simplicity does not have to interfere with our creativity. Okay. As Albert Einstein said, Everything has to be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Okay, just because of simplicity, you go and you just do mediocre job, like 1 second you are done, and like, yeah, hey, we are simple. So no, that is not like that. At least you make something more beautiful and meaningful. All right. Don't say because of simplicity I'm not going to do my best, or like to make a meaningful job, to create a work that has clarity on it. All right, so it's very important to have that caution. Okay, it's all about balancing between simplicity and meaningfulness, clarity. Okay, if you are going to do a design, make sure the design is simple, but it's also like has this intricate lovely stuff, but not complex. Okay, so it's all about balance, but simplicity is very important. The value for this is widespread. All right, let's move on to value number 6, which is media centrism. Okay, turn on that camera, man. Turn on that camera. Jollof Events perceives itself as a media company in the sense that we are in the business of creating and distributing content daily. Yes, event planning is what we do, but being present in the media is equally important. Okay, we can only create a strong brand by using the media, especially social media, to document our journey and to provide entertainment, education, and meaningful information to people. Okay, this is why every person or organization today should be perceived as a media company. Okay, remember, as Gary Vee said in his book, Jab 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 Right Hook. Okay, every business is a media company. All right, right now we are in the media age, and you should be recording everything you do. You should be recording it. All right, the camera has to be your friend. Okay, in the past, many people, they come to work here, and when I try to like take them photos or videos, they will duck and they will say, oh, like, me, I'm aside on the camera, I don't like camera, I don't like to show my face. But thank God that is history now, because if you don't want to show up in the camera, then don't show up at Jollof Events. Okay, the Jollof Events is for people who embraces the camera. The camera is our friend. They don't mind anytime you snap them. They are willing to show up. Okay, and we are in the media age, and we are supposed to be present in the media 24/7, providing content. Pum, 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 pum. If you are the driver at Jollof Events, okay, snap yourself, okay, or talk about the road, the traffic situation, traffic signs, about transporting stuff, logistics. Okay, so show yourself. Okay, if you are the cleaner at Jollof Events, okay, tell people, compare between like Madar and Sabah, which one is better, like telling people how you clean the place, showing the camera. If somebody is snapping you, happily join, and like the camera has to be our friends. Okay, if you are the admin assistant, talk about the labor laws of the Gambia, talk about accounting, talk about, all this stuff. You tell people, you make videos, and wherever somebody is trying to take you short, join happily, and no hesitation, because this value is one of our key values. Okay, media centrism. Okay, Jollof Events is a place where everyone is considered as a reporter and an ambassador of the company. The creation and broadcasting of information about our products, our processes, and related topics should be central in everyone's agenda. As a result, the camera is our best friend. We should always work with it, whether we are behind it, that is taking pictures or videos, or in front of it, that is selfies or recordings. Shying away from the camera, without any relevant reason, is highly forbidden at Jollof Events. Our ideal employee, contractor, and even customer should not be fearful or reserved when it comes to the media. Let us turn on that camera. The symbol for this value is obviously a camera. Value number 7, openness, nothing to hide. In this information age, openness is now a business essential, a trait that has to be woven in every organization's DNA. It is a demonstration of transparency, integrity, and a straightforward attitude towards all business operations, both internally and externally. Openness means being transparent and honest when it comes to our blunders, our achievements, internal processes, financial reports, pricing, and so on. Okay, remember, we are an open company. Okay, we do not hide anything, not except our confidential information, but we try as much as possible, okay, not to bother ourselves in hiding stuff and playing hide and seek with people, especially our employees and our shareholders. Okay, so at Jollof events, if you are here, okay, know that we will share, for example, our payroll to everybody. Everybody else knows how much everybody got. Like if I receive my salary, like it's going to be on the payroll, how much I got on basic salary, allowance, my overtime, my taxes and everything. Everybody is going to know it in the company and so forth, because it is shared on our group chats, sorry, on our notice or whatever. So at least internally, we try to be as open to each other as possible. Okay, and externally, sometimes when a customer calls and you are at Westfield, don't tell them I'm at Latikunda and stuff. Just tell them the truth. Okay, I'm at Westfield, the traffic, blah blah, and so we always try to be transparent to people. Okay, so that's this value is very important. Okay, there should always be high level of transparency and trust between Jollof Events and its customers, as well as its employees and stakeholders. We are committed to upholding ethical business practices and to fully comply with all regulations, including labor laws and taxes. Okay, like for example, every employee will tell you what your rights are. Okay, for example, you deserve like these days off, you deserve to have paid time off, you can take, all this stuff about the labor law. Everything is transparent. We try to tell everybody else what it is, and the taxes and everything. Okay, because we believe that widespread secrecy or playing hide and seek in business leads to complexity and corruption. Okay, if you are doing too many hiding, you are hiding from the government, you are hiding from your stakeholders. I don't want you to invest in the company and then be wondering how this business, how the managers are running the business, because there are a lot of shady stuff going around. Okay, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you try to create shady accounting stuff, to reduce your revenue just so that you can pay less taxes, man, you're going to do this to other people, so that like everything is one book, one financial book, one handbook, one everything. Okay, not like hiding stuff from anybody. We don't do that. Okay, because we believe that hide and seek or secrecy leads to complexity and corruption. What we believe that if your hands are clean, if you do the right things, okay, then you have nothing to fear and you have nothing to hide. Okay, openness creates a standard and sustainable organization which is easier to manage. Okay, it's easy to manage a clean business. Okay, a business which is on the straight path. All right, so enough of this rant. Let's move on. Okay. So notwithstanding, another word of caution here, there should be a bold line between transparency and confidentiality. Individual freedom and privacy must be respected. Moreover, no one should reveal our confidential assets, all right, thereby jeopardizing our business. Okay, we might have a new secret that we are using to make money. Okay, wait until we make money and and then we share it to the world, something like that. But apart from this caution, we try as much as possible to become a transparent company. Okay, we do not mind disclosing. Like last year, for example, we made around $6 million. Okay, disclose it to the world. Let everybody know, man. It's not a problem. Okay, so all these things are very important to become a transparent organization. The symbol for this value is a magnifier, of course. Then value number 8, ownership. We are Jollof Events. Okay. Yes. Who owns Jollof Events? Who really owns Jollof Events? Is it me? Okay. While the real owners of Jollof Events are its shareholders, we assume that anyone associated with the company is directly or indirectly an owner of the company. If you are associated with the company, you are an owner of the company. Okay. This includes our staff, customers, communities, fans, and all other stakeholders. Okay. Ownership means seeing yourself as part of Jollof Events, at least while you have any relationship with the company. If you are an employee, at least. If you are no longer an employee, then you are not part of the owners of the company. Okay, don't associate yourself. But as long as you are an employee of the company, you are part of the owners, whether directly or indirectly. Okay. It means taking ownership of our assets and affairs, as well as your duties within the company. At Jollof Events, we believe in first person plural. Okay, this is not an English language class, but first person plural is a set of pronouns in which like a person refers to himself. Okay, for himself. Like for example, if we are talking about Jollof Events items, you don't say your tents while you are an employee of the company, and you say Jollof Events, your tents are very clean, or they are very dirty. Your this thing, or you made this money, or like that is haram at Jollof Events. Okay, at Jollof Events, you say we, our, like our tents, our chairs, our tables, our money, our this thing, whatever. Just like if you're a Manchester United fan, okay, you don't say they won, or they are playing today. You say we won, we are playing today, we signed this player for 50 million. So that's the same way you should take ownership when it comes to Jollof Events. Okay, the way we refer to our favorite football clubs here, as you can see, in the first person plural, should be the same way we refer to Jollof Events. Like Manchester United fans, for instance, will make statements like "we won," not that they won. He's our player, not that he's their player. We bought this player for 50 million, and so on and so forth. This is because the fans see themselves as part of Manchester United. So similarly, anyone who is part of Jollof Events, okay, who is part of the company, must use terms such as our tents, our store, our money. Okay, we are Jollof Events. The symbol for this value is people. Okay, we are part of the team. Okay, you're either in or you're either out. All right. So the last value here, value number 9, if you count it, you can count on it. Okay, number centrism refers to the obsession with numbers and quantification. It is the habit of counting and measuring things for better management and decision making. We believe that if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. All right. As an event planning company, it is important we know our numbers. All right. This includes the number of chairs we collected from an event, the number and size of dustbins at our premises, the number of people a hall or venue can accommodate, and the amount of money we spend on sub rentals. All right. Jollof Events. Every time you should be counting everything under your possessions, or every time you should be knowing the numbers. Know your numbers. Okay, knowing your numbers means, for example, if you deliver, for example, chairs, you just don't deliver the chairs and go on. You need to count how many chairs you deliver. Let the person also who receives the item count, okay, how many chairs they receive, and then everybody knows everything. Just like if I give you money, if I give you today $1,000, and then you did not count it, you put it in your pocket, and then tomorrow you come to me and tell me, oh, you gave me 900. Okay, I will tell you, hey, I gave you $1,000. I will take the benefit of the doubt, okay, because I gave it to you, you did not count it. So it's on you, man. You are responsible for that missing stuff. So every time, count stuff. We should be counting things at all times. Okay, at Jollof Events, everything counts. We should always know the exact amount of all our equipment and materials, either by head or from a database. Okay, either like we have written it somewhere else or something else. Okay, moreover, whatever we are given, we should count and confirm. So here's the example of the chairs, like I just mentioned earlier. Okay, because if you count things, you can count on them. The symbol for this value is 1, 2, 3. All right, so these are the values of Jollof Events. Remember, if you have your own personal values, when you are coming to Jollof Events, keep them aside and take the values of Jollof Events. At least these 9 core values. All right, these 9 core values, they are our culture. They are our culture. They are our ada. They are our chosan, as they say in Olaf. Okay, so it's very important.